$112,000. That's the number. $112,000. I'm 33 years old, I'm a registered nurse, and I have $112,000 in debt. I work at Stroger, John H. Stroger Jr. Hospital on the Near West Side. You know Stroger, it's the county hospital, the one everyone comes to when they have no insurance, when they can't afford anywhere else, when they're unhoused, when they come in by ambulance from the west side at 2 a.m. I took care of a man last week who hadn't seen a doctor in 11 years. 11 years! That's what we do there. It's hard and it matters, and I genuinely love it most days. I also have $112,000 in debt, mostly because I went to nursing school. I want to walk through all of it, the whole picture, because I've been kind of carrying it alone, and I think seeing it all in one place might actually be useful. For someone, maybe for me. I make $82,000 a year at Stroger. I've been there 3 years. I'm on a med-surg floor, general medicine and surgery, so it's not the ICU money or the trauma money, it's the floor. It's a good job. It's a real job. I worked extremely hard to get it. $82,000 a year. That sounds like a lot, I know. It sounds like, that's fine, right? Before I did this, I think I assumed that too. $82,000. Fine, okay. But, okay. Illinois takes 4.95% off the top. Flat rate, no brackets, doesn't matter what you make, the state wants 4.95 cents of every dollar. That's $338 a month, just state. Then federal. I'm not going to go through every bracket, but after the standard deduction, federal takes another $823 a month. Then FICA, Social Security and Medicare. That's another $523. No side gig income, no second job, just the one W-2. What actually lands in my account every 2 weeks after all of that is $4,950 a month. Everything I'm about to show you has to fit inside $4,950, and some of it doesn't. I have 5 debts. The first one, and this is the biggest one, is my federal student loans. Balance right now is $54,200. Interest rate is 5.8%. That's a blended rate because I borrowed across different years and the rates change every July 1st. I'm on an income-driven repayment plan, the SAVE plan, so my payment is $420 a month, which feels like a real payment, right? $420 a month. That's not nothing. If I only ever pay the $420 minimum, which for IDR is kind of the point, it takes me 203 months to pay it off. That's almost 17 years. I'll be 50. And in that time, I'll pay $31,060 in interest on top of the $54,200. So the total cost of that portion of nursing school, just the federal loans, is $85,260. But that's actually not the one that keeps me up at night, because the federal loans at least have protections, income-driven, some path to forgiveness if I work public service long enough, which Stroger is a public hospital, so I'm on that track. I've been on it 3 years. I need 10 years total. I'm doing it. That part, I'm doing it. The second one is the Sallie Mae loan, the private loan. ABSN at Chamberlain is $675 a credit hour, 120 credits. That's $81,000 in tuition before fees, before books, before anything. Federal loans have caps. You can only borrow so much per year as an undergraduate. The gap between what federal covered and what Chamberlain cost, that gap went to Sallie Mae. No cosigner. My credit was okay-ish, but I was a 28-year-old woman without a lot of credit history, and the rate they gave me was 11.99%. 11.99% APR. Fixed for the life of the loan. The balance right now is $34,800. It was $32,000 when I graduated. It went up during the grace period, during clinicals when I wasn't working full hours, because interest doesn't pause. My minimum is $465 a month. If I only pay $465, that takes 139 months, 11 and a half years. I'll pay $29,835 in interest on a loan that started at $32,000 and is already at $34,800 because interest kept running while I wasn't working full hours. The total cost of that loan is $64,635 for $32,000. The third and fourth are credit cards, two of them. Chase Freedom, $8,400 at 26.99% APR. The minimum that actually makes a dent, the minimum that at least covers the interest, is $220 a month. At $220, it takes 88 months to pay off. That's over 7 years, and I pay $10,960 in interest on top of the $8,400. Total cost, $19,360 for $8,400. Citi Double Cash, $5,800 at 24.99% APR. Minimum is $150 a month. Takes 79 months at minimum. Interest, $6,050. Total cost, $11,850 for $5,800. Both of those cards got used the same way. During my last 2 years at Chamberlain, I was in clinical rotations. Hospital rotations, 6-8 hours a day in a clinical setting, plus my coursework, plus studying for the NCLEX. I was working. I had a job at the Home Depot on Edens, but I dropped from full-time to part-time because the hours didn't work anymore. The gap between part-time Home Depot and what I needed to live, Rogers Park rent, CTA, groceries, phone, that gap went on the cards, month after month. I wasn't going out. I wasn't buying things. I was paying to survive while I was in school so I could get this job. And the fifth one, $8,800 in medical debt at Stroger Hospital, where I work. In October 2023, I went to the ER, my own ER. My coworkers checked me in. I had a hypertensive crisis. My blood pressure was dangerously high. I was 31. The cardiologist said it was stress-related. He asked me if I was under stress at work, and I said, I work on the floor, at Stroger. What do you think? I have health insurance through Cook County, good insurance, but I have a $3,500 deductible, and I had not met it yet. And then there was an out-of-pocket maximum on top of that. The final bill, the ER, the cardiology consult, the follow-up, came to $8,800 out of pocket, even with my insurance. Cook County Health has a financial assistance program, and I applied for it, and they put me on a payment plan. 0% interest, $150 a month. So I'm grateful for that. I am. But it's still $8,800. It'll take me 59 months to pay it off. I'll be almost 38. Total debt, $112,000. Total monthly minimums, $1,405 a month. Total interest if I pay only the minimums, $77,905. Total cost of all this debt, if I never do more than the minimum, $189,905. I borrowed $112,000. If I only pay the minimum, I will pay back $189,905. I will pay back $77,905 that I never spent. $4,950 a month. Let's see where it goes. Rent is $1,450. I'm in Rogers Park. I've been in the same apartment on Morse for almost 4 years. It was $1,200 when I moved in. It's $1,450 now. I have not moved because moving is expensive and because I know my building and my landlord, and I'm not interested in finding out what's available right now. Groceries. I go to the Aldi on Morse, mostly, $320 a month, which I track because tracking is how I stay sane. ComEd, $95. People's Gas, $95. It was $220 for gas alone in January, but I'm averaging it out. Phone, T-Mobile, $55. CTA monthly pass, $85. I take the Red Line from Morse down to the medical district stop every day. It's fine. I like the Red Line. It's one of the few parts of the day when I'm just sitting, not thinking about anything I'm supposed to be doing. And then the debt payments. $420 for the federal loans, $465 for Sallie Mae, $220 for the Chase card, $150 for the Citi card, $150 for the Stroger payment plan. Total obligations, $3,505 a month. Take home, $4,950. Surplus, $1,445. And I want to be honest about that number because $1,445 looks okay on paper. It looks like room, and in some ways it is. I'm not choosing between rent and food. I'm not doing what some people I know are doing. I want to acknowledge that. But that $1,445 is also everything. Clothes, co-pays, laundry, a birthday gift for my mom, a new pair of shoes for the floor because you go through shoes working a 12-hour shift on concrete, a ComEd bill that spikes in July, my annual physical, a haircut, an oil change. I don't have a car, but I share one with my cousin sometimes, and I chip in on maintenance. Anything that breaks, anything unexpected, anything that is just life. By the end of the month, most months, I have maybe $300 to $400 left. Some months less. I don't have an emergency fund. Not really. I have $800 in checking that I'm trying not to spend. That's it. That's the cushion. $112,000 total. $1,405 a month minimum. $77,905 in interest if I never pay more than the minimum. About 17 years until the last debt is gone, assuming I stay on IDR for the federal loans and make every payment on everything else. To pay all of this off in 5 years, 5 years, I would need to be paying about $2,240 a month toward debt. I'm paying $1,405. The gap is $835 a month I don't have. In 3 years, about $3,460 a month toward debt. I would have to spend more on debt than I spend on debt, rent, utilities, groceries, and transportation combined. What can I actually afford to put toward this beyond the minimums? On a good month, maybe $300. On a normal month, less. On a month where something happens, nothing. I've run this calculation a lot. I've run it in the break room between patients. I've run it on the Red Line coming home at 11 p.m. The math does not improve, no matter how many times I run it. I grew up on the South Side, Roseland. My mom is a home health aide. She's been a home health aide my whole life. I watched her leave before I was awake and come home exhausted. And I decided when I was pretty young that I wanted something with a salary. With benefits, with a clear path. Nursing was that. It's still that. I don't regret the career. What I regret, I don't even know if regret is the right word, is the path I had to take to get there. I applied to the nursing program at Malcolm X. I applied to the program at Truman. The programs at the city colleges are good programs. They're also extremely competitive, the wait lists are long, and I was working full-time and couldn't keep trying for years. I needed to go. So when Chamberlain said yes, I said yes back. They were ready for me right then, and I told myself the debt would be manageable on a nurse's salary. I actually did that math. I thought I was being responsible. What I didn't account for was the private loan rate. I didn't understand when I signed for 11.99% what 11.99% actually meant across the life of the loan. Nobody explains it to you, or maybe they explain it and you don't hear it because you're 28 and you're finally going to become a nurse and you want to go. And then clinical rotations started and I dropped hours at work and the credit cards went up and I told myself I'd pay them down once I was working full-time, and then I graduated in 2021 and the first thing I did was start paying rent and student loans, and my credit cards were still there and the interest was still running while I wasn't paying them down fast enough and then October 2023, my own ER. My blood pressure was 178/112. The attending who saw me, I knew him from passing in the hall. We'd talked maybe 3 times. He sat down and said, "Something's causing this." And I wanted to say, I know exactly what's causing it. I have $112,000 in debt, and I'm a nurse, and I went to nursing school because I wanted to have a real job, and I make $82,000 a year, and some months I lie awake doing the math, and I know exactly what's causing it. I didn't say that. I said I'd been working a lot. He told me to try to manage my stress. He handed me a pamphlet, and 3 weeks later, the bill came. I'm on the public service loan forgiveness track for the federal loans. Stroger is a qualifying employer. I'm on an income-driven plan, and I need to make 120 qualifying payments, 10 years. I'm at 36. 68% of PSLF applications have historically been rejected for technicalities. Wrong plan, wrong employer certification form, servicer error. So I check my certification every year. I print it and I keep it. I am not relaxed about this, but I'm doing it. For the Sallie Mae loan, there is no forgiveness for private loans. There's no IDR. There's just $465 a month for 11.5 more years. I called Sallie Mae about a hardship program in January. I was on hold for 42 minutes. I hung up because I had to leave for work. I haven't called back yet. The credit cards, I've been putting an extra $80 toward the Chase card when I can. 2 months ago, I didn't because I needed new compression socks for the floor, and that was $60, and also the February ComEd bill was higher than I expected. So, that extra $80 exists in theory. I looked at refinancing the Sallie Mae loan at one point. The rates were around 7 to 8% for someone with my credit, which would help. But refinancing federal loans into private means losing PSLF eligibility, and I'm not willing to do that. So whatever I refinance has to be clearly separated, and the private loan is already private, and I haven't done it yet. I've been meaning to. That's it. That's what I'm doing. I'm making the payments and I'm certified for PSLF and I'm trying. I have $800 in my checking account that I'm treating as an emergency fund. If something happened tomorrow, real emergency, car, medical, anything, I have $800. That's it. Cook County Health has a pension system, IMRF, which is funded by the employer, so technically there's retirement there. I don't really think about it. It doesn't feel like money I have. It feels like money that exists somewhere in theory. I calculated, I actually did this, if I stay on IDR and make every payment and get PSLF forgiveness at year 10 and keep paying the private loan and the credit cards and the medical bill, I will be debt-free at 44. I'll be a debt-free 44-year-old nurse. And then I can start actually saving money. My patients at Stroger, a lot of them are scared when they come in. Scared of being sick, scared of the bill, scared of what comes after. I'm good at that part. I'm good at sitting with someone who's scared and just being steady, saying, I'm here. This is what's happening. We're going to get through this together. I don't know if anyone's ever done that for me about the money. I don't know if there's a version of that conversation that works. I do it myself, on the red line home at night. I'm here. This is what's happening. Get through it.